Tax audit. The word tax audit is one of the most important word among business community now. The accountants, tax consultants, business owners talk a lot about tax audit. Why? Because we are in the middle of second year from the implementation or introduction of VAT in the UAE. Now, many businesses are facing tax audit. What is tax audit? Tax audit is nothing but the examination of tax liability of a taxable person by the authority. That is, the Federal Tax Authority assesses the tax liability of a taxable person. That is called tax audit. During tax audit, the authority will check whether the taxable person has paid the tax liability within the time period or not, and whether the taxable person calculates the VAT liability as per the provisions of the VAT law or not. Many people are having the concern that when tax audit takes place, where it will be taking place, whether we have to go to the authority's office or they will come to our office or not. Yes, mainly the tax audit takes place at the premises or the main business premises of the taxable person. But in initial stage, it begins like this. If an authority is proceeding with the tax audit, they will be sending a notice related to that one and will be asked to submit specific documents. So initially the documents are to be submitted to the authority, those documents which are asked by the authority. Thereafter, in case required, the authority has the right to visit the premises of the taxable person. That means in the main place where the business is conducted will be the place normally the tax audit will be conducted. Not only the main place of business of the taxable person, even the authority can fix the place of conducting the tax audit where even any other places, even where he maintains his records or any other place like where the goods are stored. So like that the tax authority can decide the place where the tax audit has to be conducted. Keep in mind, the tax authority will be giving 5 days notice before conducting a tax audit. During tax audit, the tax auditor has the right to collect information or documents from the taxable person. Even they can ask for the original document, they can carry the original documents, or even they may take the copies of the documents, or even they can take the samples of some goods or materials or some equipments or any other assets. In short, the tax authority or the tax auditor has the right to ask any relevant documents or materials which is important for conducting such a tax audit. In certain cases, the tax auditor has got extra power or special power to conduct tax audit even by closing the premises of the taxable person. He has the right even to close the business up to 3 days or 72 hours. Only in special scenarios. The special scenarios could be like this. If there is an indication of tax evasion, or if the tax auditor is of the opinion that the tax audit can be performed only by closing the premises of the taxable person, or if there is an indication that the taxable person is not allowing the tax auditor to enter his premises. In this kind of special scenarios, even the tax auditor will order to close the business up to 3 days. But these are some special scenarios. In general, the tax audit will be conducted, either they will be asking the documents or they will be visiting the premises of the taxable person and conducting the tax audit from there. In this scenario, the question is how Emirates Chartered Accountants Group can help you to manage your tax audit. Of course, if the tax audit is started and if you are appointing us as the tax agent, we will be there to support you to provide all the documents to the authority. But if you have not received any tax audit notice so far, but if you want to be ready yourself to face the tax audit anytime in future, we help you. How we help you? We help you to review the entire 1 year or the till date tax transactions, and we will review all your records which are maintained in your premises or in your company and ensure that your documents are ready or your transactions are in compliance with the UAE VAT law, and anytime you will be able to face a tax audit. Keep in mind, the tax audit notice will get only for within 5 days, or tax audit notice will be for a period of 5 days. So once we get the notice, in 5 days we have to submit the documents. So in last moment, if you try for maintaining the documents, it will be hectic for you. So every business should keep their documents ready in advance, and it should be in accordance with the requirement of the provisions of the law. For this purpose, what we do? We conduct a compliance review. For example, now we are in the middle of 2019. So the VAT is implemented since last year, that is 2018, 1st January onwards. So we can have a complete review of your transactions, your VAT transaction or the taxable supplies transactions, and we issue a compliance review report. So for that, we perform the following steps. As a first step, we review the complete VAT returns which you already filed to the authority. If you are filing the VAT returns on monthly basis, of course there will be 12 returns in a year, or if you are filing on quarterly basis, 4 returns will be there for the year 2018, maybe ending with the 31st December 2018, or by 31st January 2019, or 20th February 2019. We review entire VAT return form, that is form 201, and give you the opinion, or our review will be performed, and we will find out if any error is there in the VAT returns already filed. If we find any return already, any error on the returns already filed, we will recommend you either voluntary disclosure to rectify such errors, or as the case may be, if it is to be rectified in the subsequent return, we will advise you accordingly. Number 2, as part of the compliance review, we review your all contracts with your customers, suppliers or third parties, even the contracts which were entered before 2017 or before 2018, in the year 2016 or 17, and we will review the compliance of the transition provisions, because when you entered the contract in 2016, there may not be the clause related to VAT. Once the VAT is implemented, whether your tax treatment during the taxable period is proper or not, that will be checked. And your new contracts also will be reviewed, and make sure that the contracts are in compliance with the provisions of the law, and your all tax treatment are in accordance with the requirement. If any variations are noticed, we will report you, and we can do the necessary changes in the contract or the tax treatment, as case may be. Number 3, many people are making errors on calculation or reverse charge while doing the import. Import of goods are be treated under reverse charge mechanism. In many cases, during our review of many clients, we noticed that it is not properly reconciled through the box number 7, or the reverse charge where eligibility for the input tax credit, which can be considered under box number 10, a lot of errors were noticed. So this is one of the areas where we will be performing a complete review. Number 4, analyze the VAT treatment on exports. The exports of goods are eligible under 0 rated, provided proper documentation is available for such transactions like commercial evidence and official evidence. We will check the transactions whether the proper documentation is there or not. And in the case of export of services, that is another area where people are making a lot of errors. So we will check against such transactions whether the basic requirements as per the law is complied with or not. In case if we notice an error in such transactions, we will recommend the management to treat the best or the right way of treatment of tax. Point number 5, the intra-GCC transactions. Even many cases we notice that intra-GCC transactions are little complicated for people. So far, the implementing state concept is not introduced. As long as implementing state concept is not implemented, in that case, every GCC transaction has to be treated as similar to any other transactions with any other countries. So these transactions also we will be giving special attentions. For example, if any goods are moving from designated zone to another GCC country called Oman, where from Jebel Ali, as an example, from Jebel Ali free zone, goods are moving through land and crossing the border and moving to the country called Oman. So in this case, a lot of confusion is there for the customers or for the business people to treat the tax in this case. So we will give special attention to this kind of transactions to review it, and we will recommend the right way of consideration for the tax. Point number 6, VAT treatment on import of services. Import of services is one of the areas where widely errors are happening, because in the case of import of services, since it is not coming through the customs, since it is not recorded through the customs, there is no cross check on such a transactions. So even there are cases where it is missed out for reporting through the VAT return. And if it is missed out later stage, we are not sure whether we will be eligible to take the input credit as well, because eligibility to take input credit is another clause. But it's your responsibility to disclose under box number 3 for import of every services for your business. We'll review such transactions, and the special treatment or special consideration has to be given on the exchange rate related to this. So we will be reviewing such transactions on by giving a special attention. Point number 7. Accounting system is most important for keeping the records related to the VAT. We will review the existing accounting system, whether the reports generated from the accounting system is proper or not. Because the documents which are to be generated, like sales invoices, that is the tax invoice, tax credit notes, or any other internal transaction documents, everything should be perfect as per the requirement of the law. We will review such transactions or the existing accounting system and ensure that the accounting system is giving the proper report. If any error is noticed in that case, we will be recommending the management to do the needful rectification has to be done by the IT team. Point number 9. There will be industry specific issues in some of the cases, like in gold and diamond jewelry or the oil and gas industries, where reverse charge has to be applied even for the wholesale market. In the case of the real estate, where exempted supply is there, so these are the areas where extra attention has to be given, or the special consideration has to be given. So industry specific issues will be specifically handled by our experts who are working for long period in those industries. Point number 10. Annual adjustment. Annual adjustment is one of the important requirements which every company has to perform where they are doing taxable supplies as well as exempted supplies. This annual adjustment has to be done at the year end, in the first quarter of the following year. So we will do a review whether the annual adjustment has been done properly or not. Not only that, special treatments like a capital asset scheme. If the company is under the has to apply the capital asset scheme, we will review if such a treatment is done properly or not. Point number 11. The voluntary disclosure, the form 211. When people are using the voluntary disclosure form 211, even still we noticed errors are made while rectifying the errors through voluntary disclosure form. So again in subsequent period, then again we have to use the voluntary disclosure form. Every use of voluntary disclosure form costs you. First time usage will cost you 3,000 dirham, and thereafter for every use it will be 5,000 dirhams. So to avoid such penalties, unwanted payments, so we will guide you properly to do the proper voluntary disclosure form. Point number 12. The refund. In case the company is eligible for refund, the form 311 has to be submitted. So our experts will guide you properly to submit form to 311, and subsequently when the authority is asking for the supporting documents of your taxable transactions, we will be there to guide you to provide such additional supporting documents to the authority. While having a complete review of your books of accounts and taxable supplies, you will be ready to face the tax audit from the authority at any time. Whether the tax audit will come or not is another question, but having a complete VAT compliance review for your last year is very much important, because once you perform your compliance review and once we issue a report on it, wherever error is there, that we can rectify, and any time you will be ready to submit the documents to the authority. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our video on tax audit by CA Manu, CEO and partner of Emirates Chartered Accountants Group. To let you know, we are registered tax agent with the Federal Tax Authority as ECA Taxation Procedures Follow-up LLC, providing exclusive tax agent service to our clients. To avail our services or for more information, please call us on the below number or log into www.emiratesca.com for more information. Before you leave, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. Follow us in our social medias, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter and Pinterest. Thank you.